Imagine waking up each day free from the heavy burden of worry, where your mind is clear, your heart is light, and you're fully present in the moments that truly matter. Life is too short to be weighed down by fear and uncertainty. It's time to embrace the peace that comes from letting go and trusting the journey. Worry has a way of creeping into our minds, often uninvited, and taking up space it doesn't deserve. It whispers doubt, stirs up fears, and paints exaggerated pictures of what might go wrong. Yet, when we step back and really consider its impact, we see that worry doesn't make us stronger or more prepared. It does the opposite. Worry drains our mental energy, clouds our judgment, and weighs us down emotionally. Instead of equipping us to face challenges, it often leaves us feeling overwhelmed and incapable. Imagine trying to carry a heavy backpack filled with things you don't need. That's what worry does to your mind and spirit. It burdens you with unnecessary fears and anxieties, making it harder to move forward. It doesn't contribute to solving the problems you're facing. Instead, it magnifies them. A small issue can suddenly feel insurmountable because worry has taken your focus away from potential solutions and placed it squarely on the worst-case scenario. Think about it. Has worry ever made a situation better? Has it ever added something positive to your life? The answer is no. Worry is unproductive. It doesn't provide answers or create opportunities. It's like running on the treadmill. You expend energy, but you're not going anywhere. Instead of helping you move forward, worry keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity, replaying the same fears and doubts over and over again. Worry also affects your physical health. Studies have shown that chronic worrying can lead to stress conditions such as headaches, high blood pressure, and weakened immunity. It's not just a mental or emotional issue, it impacts your body too. The tension and stress caused by worrying can leave you feeling exhausted, even if you haven't done anything physically demanding. It robs you of the vitality and strength you need to tackle the challenges in front of you. Not only does worry deplete your energy, but it also clouds your ability to think clearly. When you're consumed by worry, it's hard to make good decisions. Your mind is so preoccupied with imagining potential problems that it can't focus on finding solutions. Worry creates a fog that obscures your perspective and makes it difficult to see the bigger picture. Instead of approaching challenges with clarity and confidence, you're left feeling uncertain and hesitant. Another thing to consider is how worry impacts your relationships. When you're constantly worrying, it's easy to project those fears onto others. You might become overly critical, impatient, or distant. Worry can make you self-absorbed as you're so focused on your own concerns that you struggle to be present for the people around you. It's like carrying a storm cloud with you wherever you go, affecting not just yourself but everyone in your orbit. It's important to recognize that worry doesn't equip you for the future. It diminishes your capacity to handle the present. Instead of empowering you to face challenges head-on, worry drains the very resources you need to succeed: your energy, focus, and creativity. It's a thief that steals your peace of mind and replaces it with fear and doubt. There's also a deeper spiritual aspect to consider. When you allow worry to dominate your thoughts, you're essentially saying, I have to handle everything on my own. It's easier to forget that you don't have to carry the weight of the world by yourself. There's a greater strength available to you, one that can provide peace and assurance even in the midst of uncertainty. Trusting in that strength allows you to let go of worry and approach life with confidence and calm. Worry often comes from a desire to control things that are beyond our control. We think that if we just plan enough, think enough, or anticipate every possible outcome, we can avoid problems or pain. But the truth is, life is unpredictable. There are always going to be things you can't foresee or control, and worrying about them doesn't change that. All it does is rob you of the joy and peace you could be experiencing in the present moment. One of the most powerful ways to combat worry is to shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on what might go wrong, start looking for what's going right. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to worry. When you take the time to recognize and appreciate the blessings in your life, it becomes harder for worry to take hold. Gratitude shifts your perspective from fear to faith, from lack to abundance. Another way to overcome worry is to take action where you can and release the rest. If there's something you can do to address a situation, do it. But once you've done your part, let go of the outcome. Trust that things will unfold as they're meant to, and stop wasting energy on things you can't control. It's also helpful to remind yourself of the times you've faced challenges in the past and come through them stronger. Worry tries to make you forget your resilience and the strength you've already demonstrated. By focusing on your past victories, you can build confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Worry doesn't add value to your life, it takes it away. It doesn't prepare you for the future, it steals your peace in the present. Recognizing this truth is the first step to breaking free from the cycle of worry and stepping into a life filled with peace, clarity, and purpose. Worry is one of those things that feels automatic, like it happens to us without any control. But the truth is, worry is a choice. It's a mental habit, something we allow ourselves to engage in, often without realizing it. It starts with a thought, an uncertainty, a fear, or a question about the future, and from there it can snowball into hours or even days of anxiety. But just because worry feels natural doesn't mean it's inevitable. At its core, worry is a decision we make to focus on fear rather than faith, on problems rather than possibilities. Every time worry enters your mind, you face a decision. You can dwell on that thought, let it take root, and grow into a full-blown narrative of what might go wrong, or you can choose to redirect your focus. It's not always easy, but it is possible. Worry doesn't force itself on you. It presents itself as an option, and you have the power to accept or decline it. That's the first step in breaking free, realizing you have a choice. The problem is that worry often disguises itself as something helpful. It tells you, if you think about this enough, you'll figure it out. Or if you don't prepare for the worst, you'll be caught off guard. But worry isn't productive. It doesn't lead to solutions. It leads to stress. Worry pretends to be a friend looking out for you, but in reality, it's an enemy draining your energy and peace. Choosing not to worry doesn't mean ignoring your problems or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means deciding where you'll direct your mental and emotional energy. There's a difference between concern and worry. Concern says, this is important and I'll address it. Worry says, this is overwhelming and I'll obsess over it. When you're concerned, you take practical steps to deal with an issue. When you worry, you let fear and anxiety take control, even when there's nothing more you can do. One of the reasons worry feels so compelling is that it gives us the illusion of control. We think that by worrying, we're somehow preparing ourselves or protecting ourselves from pain. But the reality is, worry doesn't control the future. It only ruins the present. The future is going to unfold whether you worry about it or not. The choice isn't between worrying or not worrying. It's between living in peace or living in fear. Sometimes worry becomes a habit because we've practiced it for so long. It's like a path we've walked over and over in our minds, and it feels familiar and automatic. But just as worry is a choice, so is breaking the habit of worry. It takes intentional effort to choose a different path, to redirect your thoughts when they start to spiral into anxiety. It's not about suppressing or denying your feelings. It's about acknowledging them and then deciding not to let them control you. One powerful way to make this choice is by focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. So much of what we worry about is beyond our control: the opinions of others, the outcome of a situation, the future. When you spend your energy on things you can't change, you're wasting that energy. But when you focus on what you can do, taking a small step, making a positive change, or simply shifting your perspective, you empower yourself to move forward. Another important step in choosing not to worry is to challenge the thoughts that fuel your anxiety. Worry thrives on what-if scenarios. What if I fail? What if this doesn't work out? What if something goes wrong? But for every what if that leads to fear, there's a what if that leads to hope. What if I succeed? What if this turns out better than I imagine? What if this challenge is actually an opportunity? The thoughts you choose to entertain will determine the direction of your emotions and ultimately your life. Gratitude is another powerful tool in overcoming worry. When you focus on what's good in your life, it becomes harder for fear and anxiety to take hold. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, from fear to faith. It reminds you of the blessings you already have and the ways you've been provided for in the past. This doesn't mean ignoring your problems. It means refusing to let them overshadow the good in your life. Faith plays a crucial role in choosing not to worry. When you trust that things are working together for your good, even when you don't understand how, it becomes easier to let go of fear. Faith says, I don't have to have all the answers. I don't have to figure everything out. I trust that there's a plan and I'm not in this alone. This doesn't mean being passive or complacent. It means taking action where you can and trusting the rest to unfold as it should. Choosing not to worry is an ongoing process. It's not a one-time decision. It's something you have to practice daily, sometimes moment by moment. But each time you make the choice to let go of worry, you're building a new habit, a new way of thinking that leads to peace and confidence. Over time, it becomes easier to recognize when worry is creeping in and to redirect your focus before it takes over. The choice is yours. You can choose to let worry dominate your thoughts and dictate your emotions, or you can choose to live with peace, faith, and hope. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Every time you make the decision to turn away from worry, you're taking a step toward the life you were meant to live, a life free from fear and full of purpose. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools we have to combat worry. It shifts our perspective, reminds us of what's going right, and helps us focus on the blessings in our lives instead of the problems. Worry thrives on fear and uncertainty. It grows when we dwell on what we lack, what we can't control, or what might go wrong. But gratitude breaks that cycle. It forces us to step out of the spiral of negative thinking and see the good that's already present. When we're worried, it's easy to become consumed by what's wrong. We replay the same anxious thoughts in our minds, focusing on what we don't have, what we can't fix, or what we fear might happen. Gratitude interrupts that pattern. It redirects our thoughts from what's missing to what's already here. Instead of worrying about the future, gratitude brings us back to the present, where we can find peace and contentment. Gratitude isn't about ignoring your problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the bigger picture. Even in the midst of challenges, there are always things to be thankful for. Maybe it's the support of a loved one, the beauty of nature, or simply the fact that you have another day to try again. Gratitude doesn't deny the difficulties of life. It helps you navigate them with a stronger, more positive mindset. One of the reasons gratitude is so effective against worry is that it changes the way we see our circumstances. When you're focused on worry, problems can seem larger than they really are. They take up all your mental and emotional space, making it hard to see anything else. But when you intentionally practice gratitude, it's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see beyond the problems. You realize that while challenges exist, they're not the whole story. There's still so much good to be found. Gratitude also helps us recognize the ways we've been provided for in the past. When we're worried, it's easy to forget all the times we've faced difficulties before and come through them. Gratitude reminds us of our resilience and the blessings we've received along the way. It builds confidence and trust, helping us believe that we'll get through whatever we're facing now. Practicing gratitude is a choice, just like worry. It doesn't always come naturally, especially when you're in the middle of a tough situation, but it's a habit you can cultivate. Start small. Take a moment each day to think about one thing you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be something big. Sometimes the smallest blessings make the biggest difference. A kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, or even a good cup of coffee. The more you practice gratitude, the easier it becomes. Over time, you start to notice the good things more easily, even in difficult circumstances. You develop a mindset that looks for blessings instead of problems, hope instead of fear. This doesn't mean you won't ever feel worried or stressed, but it does mean you'll have a powerful tool to help you navigate those feelings. Gratitude also has a way of shifting your focus outward. Worry tends to make us self-centered, consumed by our own fears and concerns, but gratitude opens our eyes to the people around us. It helps us appreciate the kindness of others, the support of loved ones, and the beauty of connection. It encourages us to give back, to be a source of light and encouragement for others, even when we're facing our own challenges. Another benefit of gratitude is its ability to calm the mind and body. Worry triggers a stress response, keeping us in a state of tension and anxiety. But gratitude has the opposite effect. It promotes relaxation and peace, reducing stress and helping us feel more grounded. When you're focused on gratitude, it's hard for worry to take over. Your mind becomes calmer and your perspective becomes clearer. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's an action. It's something you can practice and incorporate into your daily life. Start by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big or life-changing. They just have to be real. Over time, you'll find that this simple practice transforms the way you think and feel. Another way to practice gratitude is to express it to others. Take the time to thank the people in your life who make a difference. Write a note, make a phone call, or simply tell someone how much you appreciate them. Expressing gratitude not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your own sense of thankfulness. In moments of worry, take a deep breath and remind yourself of what's good. It's not about ignoring your problems. It's about balancing them with the blessings. Gratitude doesn't mean your challenges disappear, but it does mean they no longer consume you. It gives you the strength and perspective to face them with courage and hope. When you focus on gratitude, you're training your mind to see the good in life, even when it's not obvious. You're creating a habit of looking for the light in the darkness, the calm in the storm. And as you do, worry begins to lose its grip. You realize that no matter what you're facing, there's always something to be thankful for, and that gratitude has the power to carry you through. Peace isn't something that happens by accident. It's something we cultivate, and one of the most profound ways to find it is through trust. Trust is the foundation of true peace because it allows you to let go of the need to control everything. It acknowledges that you don't have all the answers, and you don't need to. When you choose to trust, you're making a decision to release fear and uncertainty, to believe that things will work out even when you can't see how. Trust doesn't mean you're ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means you're choosing not to carry the weight of everything on your shoulders. Life is full of situations you can't control. Unexpected changes, unanswered questions, and uncertainties about the future. Trust is what allows you to face those situations without being overwhelmed. It's the quiet assurance that you're not alone and that there's a plan unfolding, even if you don't fully understand it in the moment. Trust is what allows you to pray for the trusted unfolding of certain things in the moment. Worry thrives on the need for control. It's driven by the belief that if you just think enough, plan enough, or prepare enough, you can avoid pain or ensure success. But the truth is, no amount of worrying can change the future. Worry doesn't give you control, it only steals your peace. Trust, on the other hand, shifts your perspective. It reminds you that you don't have to figure everything out. It allows you to take a step back and focus on what you can do while letting go of what's beyond your reach. Trust is a choice, and like any choice, it requires practice. It's not always easy, especially when you're faced with uncertainty or difficult circumstances. But the more you choose to trust, the more peace you'll experience. Trust doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It means you'll face them with a calm confidence, knowing that you have the strength to get through them and that you're not navigating them alone. When you trust, you stop trying to control every detail of your life and start focusing on what truly matters. You let go of the what-ifs that keep you up at night. What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? What if things don't work out? Trust allows you to counter those fears with a different set of questions. What if I succeed? What if this challenge is actually an opportunity? What if everything is working together for my good? Trust shifts your mindset from fear to faith, from scarcity to abundance. Trust isn't passive, it's active. It's not about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about taking action where you can and releasing the rest. It's about doing your part, making the best decisions you can with the information you have, and then trusting that things will fall into place as they're meant to. Trust doesn't eliminate responsibility, it puts it in perspective. It reminds you that while you have a role to play, you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your own. One of the greatest sources of trust is reflecting on the past. Think about the times you faced challenges before. Were there moments when you didn't know how you'd make it through, but somehow you did? Trust is built on remembering those moments and recognizing that the same strength, guidance, or support that helped you then is still available to you now. Trust grows when you remind yourself of the ways you've been provided for in the past, even when the path wasn't clear. Another key to trust is learning to live in the present. Worry pulls you into the future, dwelling on things that haven't happened yet and might never happen. But trust keeps you grounded in the here and now. It allows you to focus on what you can do today instead of being paralyzed by fear of tomorrow. When you live in the present, you're free to fully experience life, to notice the beauty, joy, and opportunities that might otherwise be overshadowed by worry. Trust is deeply connected to gratitude. When you focus on what you're thankful for, it's easy to let go of fear and embrace peace. Gratitude reminds you of the good that already exists in your life, even in the midst of challenges. It shifts your attention from what's missing to what's present, from what you can't control to what you can appreciate. Trust and gratitude work hand in hand, creating a cycle of peace and positivity that can transform your perspective. Trust also requires patience. In a world that values instant results, it's easy to feel anxious when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. But trust reminds you that timing is part of the process. Just because you can't see progress right now doesn't mean it's not happening. Trusting the process means accepting that some things take time and that waiting is often part of growth. It's about believing that the delay isn't a denial, but a preparation for something greater. Choosing trust doesn't mean you won't ever feel fear or doubt. Those emotions are part of being human. But trust gives you a way to navigate them without being consumed by them. It's the decision to focus on hope instead of fear, on possibilities instead of limitations. Trust doesn't remove challenges, but it changes how you face them. It gives you the courage to move forward, even when the path isn't clear. Trust is ultimately about letting go of the need to control everything and embracing the belief that there's a plan for your life. It's about finding peace in the uncertainty, knowing that you don't have to have all the answers. Trust allows you to live with confidence, joy, and hope, even in the face of challenges. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it, because peace comes not from having a perfect life, but from trusting that everything will be okay. Faith is one of the most powerful forces in life because it has the ability to replace fear. Fear thrives in uncertainty, feeding on the unknown and magnifying our doubts. It whispers all the worst-case scenarios and fills our minds with what-ifs. But faith steps in as a quiet yet unshakable assurance, offering hope where fear wants to bring despair. Faith doesn't remove challenges, but it gives you the strength and confidence to face them without being overwhelmed by fear. Fear often stems from a lack of control. It arises when you feel powerless in a situation, uncertain about the outcome, or unsure of your own ability to handle what's ahead. Fear magnifies everything that could go wrong and convinces you that you're not capable, prepared, or strong enough. But faith tells a different story. Faith says you don't have to have all the answers and you don't have to be in control of everything. It reminds you that there's a greater plan, a bigger picture that you can't always see in the moment. When you choose faith, you're making a conscious decision to focus on possibilities instead of problems. Fear says, what if I fail? Faith counters, what if I succeed? Fear says, I'm not enough. Faith responds, I have everything I need for this moment. Fear keeps you stuck in a cycle of doubt and hesitation, while faith propels you forward with courage and determination. Faith replaces fear by shifting your mindset, changing the way you see yourself, your circumstances, and your future. Faith isn't about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about looking at those challenges through a lens of hope and confidence. It's recognizing that while the situation may be difficult, it's not impossible. Faith doesn't deny the facts. It simply refuses to let fear dictate the outcome. It chooses to believe in solutions, in growth, and in the possibility of a better future. One of the ways faith replaces fear is by grounding you in the present moment. Fear often lives in the future, in all the what-ifs and uncertainties about what's to come. It pulls your attention away from what's happening right now and fixates on things that may never happen. Faith brings you back to the present. It reminds you to focus on what you can do today, on the steps you can take right now, rather than worrying about things beyond your control. Faith also has the power to remind you of your resilience. When fear tells you that you can't handle something, faith reminds you of all the times you've faced difficulties before and come through stronger. It calls to mind the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, and the strength you've gained along the way. Faith replaces fear by drawing on your past victories, showing you that you're capable of handling whatever comes next. Another way faith replaces fear is by giving you a sense of purpose. Fear often makes you feel lost or aimless, as though you're drifting without direction. but faith provides a sense of meaning and clarity. It reminds you that your life has value, that your actions matter, and that you're part of something bigger than yourself. This sense of purpose can anchor you in the midst of uncertainty, giving you the confidence to move forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. Faith isn't always easy, especially in moments of doubt or difficulty, but it's in those moments that faith becomes most powerful. Fear tries to convince you that the situation is hopeless, that there's no way out, and that you're alone in your struggles. Faith counters those lies with truth. It reminds you that even in the darkest moments, there's still light to be found. It assures you that you're not alone and that help, strength, and guidance are available to you. One of the most transformative aspects of faith is its ability to inspire action. Fear often paralyzes you, keeping you stuck in a cycle of overthinking and hesitation. It convinces you that it's safer to stay where you are even if you're unhappy or unfulfilled. Faith, on the other hand, encourages you to take a step forward even if you're unsure of the outcome. It doesn't require you to have everything figured out. It simply asks you to trust and take the next step. Faith also replaces fear by reminding you of the bigger picture. Fear narrows your focus, making the problem in front of you seem insurmountable. It magnifies the challenge and blinds you to the possibilities. Faith expands your perspective. It helps you see beyond the immediate difficulty and recognize the opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. It reminds you that setbacks are temporary and that challenges are often stepping stones to something greater. Another powerful aspect of faith is its ability to connect you with others. Fear isolates, making you feel as though you're the only one struggling. It creates a sense of separation and loneliness. Faith, however, fosters connection. It reminds you that you're not alone, that others have faced similar challenges, and that there's strength in community. Whether it's through shared experiences, encouragement, or support, faith replaces fear by reminding you of the power of unity and compassion. Faith is about choosing to believe in something greater than your fear. It's about trusting that even in the midst of uncertainty, there's hope. It's about focusing on the possibilities instead of the limitations, the solutions instead of the problems. Faith doesn't promise an easy path, but it does promise that you'll have the strength and courage to walk it. And in that trust, fear begins to lose its power, replaced by a peace that transcends the circumstances around you. Life is too short for worry. It's a phrase we've all heard, and while it may sound cliche, its truth resonates deeply when we reflect on how much time we spend consumed by fear, doubt, and anxiety. Worry can consume our thoughts, drain our energy, and cloud our ability to fully experience the present moment. Yet, despite knowing this, we often find ourselves trapped in cycles of overthinking and fear, as though worrying will somehow protect us from pain or disappointment. However, the reality is that worry only takes away from our peace and limits our potential for joy, growth, and connection. Life is fleeting, and every moment spent in worry is a moment stolen from experiencing life to its fullest. Worry thrives on uncertainty. It feeds on the unknown and amplifies what could go wrong. What if this doesn't work out? What if I fail? What if the worst case scenario happens? These thoughts create a mental loop that keeps us from truly living. But when we spend too much time fixating on worst case outcomes, we miss the beauty of the present. Life isn't guaranteed to be perfect, but it is full of moments, both simple and profound, that are meant to be savored. Worry keeps us focused on what might happen in the future, stealing away our ability to fully experience today. One of the greatest tragedies of worry is how it consumes our energy. When you're caught in a cycle of anxious thoughts, it's hard to focus on what truly matters. Worry saps our strength, leaving us mentally exhausted and emotionally drained. It can prevent us from pursuing our goals, nurturing our relationships, or even simply enjoying moments of peace. The weight of worry burdens us unnecessarily when we could be channeling that energy into creating a life we love. Life is too short for such burdens. Worry often leads us down paths of regret. We look back at situations where worry held us captive and realize that all that fear didn't change the outcome. In fact, most of what we worry about never actually happens. Yet in those moments, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to trust, to hope, and to embrace life's uncertainties with confidence. Life is full of surprises, some joyful, some challenging, but worry diminishes our ability to navigate them with grace. It's important to recognize that while worry is a natural part of being human, it doesn't have to control us. Worry doesn't add value to our lives. It subtracts from them. The time spent worrying is time spent living in fear rather than in possibility. Life is too short to be constantly weighed down by what ifs. Instead, we can learn to shift our focus toward gratitude, faith, and the belief that even in uncertainty, we are capable of handling what comes our way. Another reason life is too short for worry is that worry deprives us of the present. We often get so caught up in preparing for every possible scenario that we forget to live in the here and now. Yet life is composed of moments, and those moments are fleeting. The joy of a conversation, the beauty of a sunset, the laughter of friends, all these precious experiences are overshadowed when worry takes over. When we allow ourselves to become consumed by fear, we miss the richness of life's small, everyday moments. Worry also isolates us. When we worry, we retreat inward, focusing solely on our own anxieties and concerns. This creates a barrier between us and others. Our relationships suffer because we're unable to fully connect or be present. Life is meant to be shared, to be lived alongside others, and worrying about what may or may not happen diminishes our capacity for meaningful connection. Life is too short to live in isolation, lost in a sea of anxiety. The truth is, we can't control everything. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of worrying will change that. What we can control is our response to uncertainty. When we let go of worry, we create space for resilience, adaptability, and growth. Life presents us with challenges, but it also offers us countless opportunities to learn, evolve, and thrive. By choosing to embrace uncertainty rather than fear it, we open ourselves up to a fuller, more vibrant existence. Faith and trust are powerful antidotes to worry. Believing that everything is working out as it should allows us to approach life with a sense of peace. We don't have to have all the answers because in truth, life is a journey of discovery. Embracing the unknown can lead to unexpected joys and insights that we would have missed if we were consumed by worry. Life is too short to live in a constant state of apprehension. It's meant to be lived fully with all its ups and downs. Worry also limits our ability to take risks and embrace growth. When we're afraid of failing or making mistakes, we stay inside our comfort zones, missing out on opportunities for personal development and fulfillment. Life is too short to play it safe at the expense of our potential. Every step we take toward growth, even if it's uncertain, is a step toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Life is too short to spend trapped by worry. While we can't eliminate all our concerns, we can choose to let go of the unnecessary weight they carry. Life is about living, experiencing, and embracing all that it has to offer. Worry only limits that experience. By shifting our focus to trust, gratitude, and presence, we allow ourselves to fully engage with life's beauty, joy, and opportunities. Life is short. Let's choose to live it fully.